The General and the Genius by James Kunetka. I love listening to this book, especially after reading and reviewing American Prometheus in preparation for the Oppenheimer movie. This book was more about the logistics that go into the Manhattan Project. This book was about the human and governmental dynamics working together, because on the one hand you have the scientific complexities involved with making an atomic bomb explosion. This is where Oppenheimer comes in, because you have this core of plutonium, and in order for the reaction to happen, there has to be an explosion to force it together to start the chain reaction that creates the nuclear explosion. But in order for it to happen, you have to have a uniform explosion. So how do you engineer that? And it's fascinating watching these hundreds of scientists argue with each other about what the best way to do it is. And how do you get plutonium? How do you get uranium-235? It's fascinating. And then on the other hand, you have the General Groves and you have the governmental dynamics. How do you create a city in the middle of New Mexico for all these things to happen? How do you manufacture all these specific requirements that come from the scientists? How do you keep everything a secret because there are spies all around, there's a war going on? How do the people dynamics play out? You have these shifting alliances of who should get what assignment, and so there's lots of infighting, and in the process everyone's trying to work to the common goal of ending the war as fast as possible. I think it's a miracle that Oppenheimer and Groves worked together as well as they did, given how different they were and how little they understood about the other person's frame of expertise, because they were making huge demands on each other, and so there was lots of fighting and arguing, but in the end they actually came out with the product they intended, which is quite amazing. The thing that I really like about the book is all the decisions that happened in the Manhattan Project were told from the perspective of the human eyes that are making all the decisions. I didn't get much of a sense of the authors saying about what he thinks should have happened or this moral conclusion of the author. It was what the people at the time thought of the moral implications and everything else, every other problem that's in the story. So to me, this book was a home run. I love seeing problems through the eyes of the people at the time. So it was absolutely brilliant, kept me engaged the whole way through, and I give it 4.5 stars.